Okay, everyone, welcome to what is the most scandalous video of the year. The worst 5 things that we put our hands on this year. Well, products. For worst 5 products, how about that? Worst 5 things we put our hands on could probably get
a
little misinterpreted.
Oh yeah, that got real weird, huh? This is not only we, but primarily you.
Yeah, I had more of the distaste this year. So, we looked at it and we figured out, haven't been a lot of particularly negative reviews this year compared to last year, where it was definitely like, hey, take your pick of the litter.
There's some dumpster fire products, dude.
Yeah, so this year you go, hey, quite a bit more chill, which means it was a good year for the top 10, not a great year to slam it on the worst 5, but we will get into it momentarily. Quick thank you, Peace of Mind Guns, for sponsoring today's video and all the other videos. They run a great shop. Great customer service, based here in Utah, but they'll ship all over the place. Obviously, if you have an FFL that will receive for you, which you should. But they carry a lot of high-end stuff, a lot of things that we carry on the channel, they carry. That's kind of where the relationship came from, is like, we kind of talk about the same stuff you guys carry and vice versa, and it's like, hey, let's make some magic happen, as they say. And we're making the magic, we're making magic happen together.
Appreciate all those guys over there. Thank you.
So check them out. We do have a code you can get on Patreon if you're a Patreon supporter, where you can save a few bucks off your purchases there. So you can check that out. Okay, let's get into it. Number 5, because really number 5 is me, because ironically, you actually liked this.
I mean, I'm not like over the moon about it, but it's a good gun, man. It's good.
And I will say this. I don't hate it, but I didn't care for it, okay? That would be the CZP07. Not a new gun. This is not like it's a new release or anything. This year been up for a long time. Ironically, we filmed it in the same area where we are right now.
Literally 100 yards that way.
Yeah. So this is almost a little bit of a I don't know that it should truly be on the list. But it is, because I didn't care for it, and Chris kind of, we had about 3 things that we were both like, yeah, that's definitely in the worst list. Yeah. And then after that, it got a little thin. I would potentially say this, maybe tied at the number 5 spot could be the CZ Scorpion. And the only reason I say that is because it still exists. It is still a gun that exists on planet Earth. And
every
because
year,
of that,
we're going to do the CZ Scorpion.
Until you stop making that gun, it will be here every year. You can count on it, okay? Which means all the CZ fans are super upset.
Losing their minds.
Not to mention, ironically, both of the 5 spots are consumed by CZ products, so I guess we are no longer, still not on the list of people that are getting CZ products when they come out.
But this is just our opinion.
Just an opinion. There's nothing factual about this except some of the things that will be said here. Number 4.
Again, this is more of a you problem.
Yeah, for sure, because you own this and you spent your own money on this. How dare you? Chris's M&P. That's what number 4 spot actually says. Chris's M&P. I hate that gun. It's not because I hate M&Ps. I like M&Ps. I hate your M&P. It's the ugliest, as a channel that we get to feature nice things. You spent your money on this ugly thing with no sights on it.
Don't need sights because it has a red dot. Continue.
But it's hideous.
Thankfully, I don't even know if I've told you this, Smith & Wesson, a homie over there that watches the channel, sent me sights for it. So, gonna put those on.
Very nice.
Very nice of him. He sent me 2 sets.
Now, why would he do that?
Because he was probably disappointed in the way that we portrayed the product without sights.
I think that he agrees with me.
Now,
he's
again, what was my argument to the no sights?
You were too cheap to put sights on it.
No!
That's the argument.
It didn't need one that had a red dot, okay?
No one in their right mind would do that. It's a hideous firearm that he has. It works great. It shoots fine, but hot damn, she ugly. She an ugly girl.
She's reliable, though. That bottom bitch,
Number 3. Boy, this really is this is heavy on me on this list, isn't it? Yeah, I forgot.
Oh, you're the difficult one out of the 2 of us? Shocking.
Yeah. So number 3,
this one's gonna get more hate.
This one broke my heart a little bit. Would be sorry to our friend who loaned us his gun, because he's a great guy, but he way overspent on his Colt M45A1 from the Colt Custom Shop.
Ugh.
That gun, unlike your M&P, looks good, is an attractive firearm.
Sure.
Ironically has some of the same coloring going on, except just way better looking. But man, on a gun that goes for what those things go for on the secondary market, I mean, that was kind of a sad video for me, because I was like, the Colt Custom Shop is like kind of a legendary thing in 1911 world. Colt Custom Shop is a thing, like it's a whole thing, you know?
But
and
if that's the thing, it's severely disappointing.
Dude, that thing, and it wasn't from a perspective of it doesn't work. No, it worked fine. But I mean, like, the tolerances were atrociously bad. And I mean, the magwell, you know, and the grips were not remotely, you know, properly fit or cut or anything. And you're just like, this is an embarrassing look for the Colt Custom Shop, in my opinion. Like, it bummed me out, because I used to be a pretty diehard Colt 1911 guy when I first was getting into guns. Colts was based, you know, I had multiple like kind of custom shop Colts. They weren't from the Colt Custom Shop, but they were, you know, custom Colts. And those are great guns. And man, to see that thing come out and have the price tag that it has, you're just like, dude, this is a bummer. Like, it kind of bummed me out. So anyway,
big letdown.
You can go check that video out if you want to go, you know, get upset with me. But I guess we'll move on. Well, actually, before we move on to the number 1 and 2, pause for a quick commercial. Guys, we will be back with the video in just one moment. But if you're looking for ways to support the channel, a couple different ways you could do it. We do have our Patreon. We do a giveaway every week, a lot of behind the scenes content, Q&As. You get early access to whiskey releases and merch. We do have certain merch that you can only get via Patreon, so via certain tiers and things like that. So we do have that, would very much appreciate it. Outside of that, the 1911 Syndicate is a real estate company. We sell homes and things like that to dudes like you that watch this channel. So it doesn't really matter where you are in the US, that is something that we can support you with when the time is right. And then beyond that, we've got the shop page on the 1911syndicate.com. You can go there, pick up merch, all that kind of stuff. But with that said, we appreciate it, and back to the video. Coming in at the number 2 for least favorite products of the year. Now I'm going to say it and then I'm going to give some disclaimers. SIG 365 Spectre Comp. Okay. Now, here's the disclaimer.
This is almost a video of just hate on Jake, not so much us.
Yeah. Here's the disclaimer. I don't hate that gun. I actually have no issue with the gun. I have more of an issue with the machine behind the gun.
Sure.
Okay. The gun's fine. Look, it looks great. It shoots fine. It shoots like a 365 XL, but with double the price tag, because we made the trigger gold color that's the same trigger, and we put a comp on it that's not really a comp, and it doesn't really do comp things, and we charge an extra $600 for it. So literally the price tag on the XL is $600. The price on the Spectre comp is $1,200. And that is why it's on my list. Yeah. That combined with, if I could tell you anything, I like so much of what SIG does these days is the truth of the matter. Like the Spear LT, I go, hey, I'm intrigued by that. I think that thing looks really cool. And I think so much of what they do is they put out a lot of great products, and they're doing great, you know, optics and then suppressor. I mean, they're doing all kinds of cool stuff these days. I just have an issue when no one's willing to give disclaimers that, hey, if I'm going to tell you that this is the best gun, carry gun ever made, big words, like after a mag, and it not be disclosed to me like I'm a fucking moron, that this is an ad read and not an unbiased review, I would just like to be told, hey, we're sponsored by SIG.
Sure.
That's all I would like. And that's the only reason this is on the list. Now, does this 2-minute rant of mine do us any favors with SIG? No. But I actually like you guys. I just wish we could have some more transparency in the industry. That way when people are going to spend their hard-earned money on something, it's like, just kind of let us know the basic framework of the dynamic. Like, that's all I'm looking for. I get it. Military contracts, special operations community, you guys are hitting it on that. Fucking rock on, man. The
with some disclaimers. Rock on with some disclaimers.
Yeah, the
please.
new SIG board seat that would appear to be had is definitely in the suspect
By a
category.
former general.
Yeah.
This is open source information too. You can Google it.
Yeah, you can look that one up. I'm not saying there's a connection between the military contracts and the newly appointed SIG board member. I'm just saying, you know, maybe look into Google a little bit is all I'm suggesting there. So
what I do like though is this: our viewers aren't dummies.
no.
And in the comments section of that video, there was a lot of what you were saying.
Yes.
And I was like, dang it, guys, good job. Like, without us even really saying it, you guys connected the dots. Awesome. The industry's waking up to that. Consumers are waking up to that. And they're getting a little tired of it. It's pretty clear in that video.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, exactly right. So anyway, we'll move on from that as I just did even more damage in our reputation in the SIG community.
Whatever.
So that said, the number one spot. Welp, there was really only one way to go on this, everyone. Coming in at the number one spot, we make a trip across the pond, everyone, to a little land called Slovenia, which is not known for producing firearms. And the Perun X16 from Tink Arms, cue it up, Tink Arms, has to be in at the number one spot. Now, why would it be there? From an innovation standpoint, I say it's interesting. And when I first got it, very intrigued,
yeah.
Which is why, you know, I said, hey, I'm interested in doing that review. Yeah, let's do it. And the bottom line was that the gun didn't work. And, you know, at the end of that video, I said, hey, we're going to kind of use this video almost as like a first impressions, and we will do a follow-up video and kind of let you know how it does on essentially like round number 2 of testing and evaluation. And, you know, I don't know how ultimately that will shake out. We had, you know, there's just some different dynamics after the video. I don't know if ultimately you guys will get that video. But
if I'm a bet man, I'm saying no.
I'm going to say that one, like you're probably going to have the one video that you have at this point. From my experience, and even including after the video, really trying to get that thing running, I've never successfully gotten one to run, especially with a suppressor on it. So from a simple functionality standpoint, if I'm going to say what's the worst thing of the year, what's the thing that doesn't work?
Sure,
you know, and
default.
that's a harsh reality, you know, and it's like, it's not trying to be a dick, because like that's a small company, then I have no desire to like put to shame small companies or anything. That's not the business that I'm in. But hey, if you guys are going to spend your money, at least potentially based on some of the things that we say, I believe that you're owed a fair shake when it comes to things that we've shot that I cannot recommend that you put your money behind. If you just like weird guns, if you're one of those guys, then I would definitely buy one, because it's just kind of weird and it's unique and it is interesting.
Different.
But you've got to be aware of the risk associated with putting your money behind new products and companies that who knows what the longevity of those companies are. So, that's the top 5 list. I don't think particularly spicy this year.
No.
You know, and I think some of you guys probably could have predicted that. We will continue to do these top 5 and top 10 lists because I do think that people, you know, I don't know. People seem to like
it's entertaining.
Watching these things. For
last year's went real
reason.
well. I assume this year's going to go well too.
So. Yeah, and I guess really at the real number 1 spot would still be Axle ear protection. Like that is just one of those things that, like, again, until that ceases to exist, the Ghost Extremes, which you will probably get sent ads just based on me saying, and you having heard the term Ghost Extreme, you'll probably get littered with Instagram ads from that. Please do not buy those, everyone. Please do not do that at all. Final thank you to Firearms Legal Protection. It's a cool company, guys. We think they're a company you should know about. They do basically, like, you know, CCW.
And a service you should use.
Yeah, you know, I've really kind of had a change of heart. I actually wasn't against the CCW insurance thing. I didn't know anything about it. I was uneducated about it. Yeah. And after kind of going through some education, I go, hey, look, I do think it is something that you should at the very least consider, give some serious thought consideration to. You can look up FLP. We'll have a link to it below where it'll run you through all the different perks that you get. There's a couple different plans. There's the basic one for like $10 a month that covers you in your state. Unlimited attorney fees, which is not always the case with all the different programs, and a bunch of other perks there. There's the premium one that's $22 a month. You get that either, again, use the link or punch in the code 1911 and it'll knock the price from the normal price down to the buddy prices.
The
right?
homie
We're
price.
giving you buddy prices here. But they've got like the crime incident cleanup service that they do. Because again, guys, someone got to clean that
Someone
shit
got to
up.
clean it up, man.
Someone got to clean it
Yeah.
up, right? And I ain't doing it. Why? Well, because I was just on a shooting. I'm rested. I'm in the back of the patrol car, right?
Yeah.
Trying to like call my attorney because they got a hotline, right? You call the attorney there. So
That
anyway,
you speak with actual attorneys.
yeah. So anyway, we'll end the pitch on that. But check that out. They're good dudes. They're actually gun dudes. They like guys like you, and I think you would like guys like them. So anyway, check that out. This is one of the last 2 videos of the year, so we will wrap it up on the yearly top 10 next.
Yep.
But I guess that's about it for this.
That's it. Thank you guys. Appreciate the year. Not a ton of spicy stuff, but hey, there's just some products that go bum 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 bum. Mostly in Jake's opinion.
Yeah. There we go. All right. See you guys.